Do you ever watch French TV or do you listen to French radio? I do from time to time, and there's something that always makes me laugh, that always strikes me, and that is how, in Quebecois media on the French side, they're able to use the F word in ways that we would never use here on CJAD 100 or on English TV and radio in Quebec. Joining me on the line is Alice Tremblay. She's a grad student at the Université du Québec at Chicoutimi, and she studied for her thesis the use of the F word in Quebecois French media. Alice, thanks for joining us on the line.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
Now, Alice, we are pre-taping this. There's a couple of reasons why I wanted to pre-tape this, because I know that when it comes to language, sometimes you got to say a certain word. So, obviously we cannot make this whole interview just saying that word repeatedly because we don't want to have a lot of bleeps. But if there's a reason why you absolutely need to use the word, go ahead. We'll just bleep it afterwards in editing, okay?
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, I can use F word instead of saying the word.
Awesome. And of course, Alice, but I just want to say before we start off, we're not just looking at the F word in general, but a particular usage of the F word, correct?
Yes.
So what is that?
Well, in English, you can use the F word like as an independent word and like put it in front of another word or between two words. But
Yes.
You can also put it in inside of a word. So, can I use some examples? Or?
Do it. Yes, I want to hear
okay.
it. We can bleep.
So you can say, for example, irresponsible.
So it's within the word, yeah.
Yes, in the word. So I wanted to see if we could do the same in Montreal French.
Gotcha.
So I wanted to see if like the uses of the word were spreaded enough to be like inside the words.
So can I ask you, Alice, I'm always amazed at how much I hear that word in Quebecois French media.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh. Like on the English side, we just couldn't get away with it. But when I watch French media, it's all the time. Why is that?
Well, I don't know for sure, but we don't have the same like negative meaning associated with the word.
It's not a taboo. It's not a taboo like it is for English people.
Well, not that much. So we have our own swear words in French.
Yep.
So I feel like this one is not negative like for you in English.
Now, what was the reaction? You study language. That's what you're studying. When you tell whoever's responsible for the program, hey, this is what I want my thesis to be on, what do they say to you?
Well, people are kind of surprised at the beginning because it's not a common way. Well, it's not common to study this kind of things. So we feel in the university that studying something must be like not boring, but something serious. But we see that you can do like something really, really like interesting and have a method and everything. But it can be also funny and people understand it. You see, it's something nice because you can speak about that on the radio and everyone understand what you're talking about.
So what did you find? What did you look at? I understand you looked at some social media as well and also regular media. What did you find?
Well, I use data from Twitter. So I collected data on Twitter, and I had thousands of tweets in French
yeah, thousands,
and also
yeah.
in English.
So, and did you find a difference between how English people use that word and how French people use it?
Yes, there is one because, well, we see that we have like the uses with the independent word when you put like the F word outside of a word. This is the most frequent uses. But we also see that in both languages we can use the F word inside of other words. And this is something because we didn't think that in French we would be able to do that. I mean, we didn't think that those uses would be in the data that we collected.
And people are now integrating them into other words. You mentioned that, and I'll say it. I get to say it once too. I'm going to get the thumbs up for my technical producer here. I'm going to say it. irresponsible, right? It's bleeped. Very good. So that's an example of it being used within that word, within a word.
In English. We found like examples like this one in French too.
Mm-hmm. I'm speaking with Alice Tremblay, grad student at the Université du Québec at Chicoutimi. She's studying the use of the F word in Quebecois French. Alice, I think there's a thought that English is considered cool amongst Francophone Quebecers, right? And, particularly you look at social media and you have Francophones that use English a lot, sometimes exclusively on social media. Is that part of this? Is the use of this word all part of the fact that English is considered cool?
Well, I seriously don't know. But we know that this particular word, so the F word, it's a word that we borrowed to the English language maybe something like 20 years ago. So it's not new to use the word. We see that there is a frequency that is high, so we use it a lot. But I don't know exactly why.
One of the things... No, go ahead, Alice, finish your thought.
We don't have studies like in the past to compare if we use it more or less, or it's not something that we have. So we cannot look at those kind of data.
Alice, one of the things that I thought was interesting when looking at what you found was the fact that there doesn't seem to be another word in French that can replace it. So there's no equivalent to that word, the F word, and how it's used. There's nothing that you can replace it by. Is that also part of the reason why it's being used so much? Because there's no equivalency in the French language?
Yes, well, this is really interesting because it's true. We cannot replace it by something else. And also we see that in some contexts, it's not possible to put something else in the sentence. So we see that all the behavior of the word is really like unique. So this is something that we wanted to look forward in the study.
Alice, I've done one other interview about swearing on this program, and it got such a reaction from people, listeners who said, why are you, giving a voice for this kind of stuff, and we should be trying to make sure nobody swears and that kind of stuff. And I was like, yep, you know what? It's still very risky, especially on the English side. What's the reaction been from the French side, those who are covering your thesis and what you found?
Well, it was okay, actually. I mean, I don't think that it's... people were pretty happy to speak about it, and I think the reception was great, too. People were listening to the interviews. They were happy to talk to me about it, and they were like, oh, this is so nice, something different. And, yes, I think it's kind of surprising, but it's also great to see that you can do this kind of studies.
That is definitely one way of putting it. It is something different. Alice, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
That's Alice Tremblay, grad student at the Université du Québec at Chicoutimi.